Hello and welcome to DC Figures and Collectibles. We're coming to you live, but recorded from Los Angeles and Stoke-on-Trent, England. I'm Tyler of Batman Figs on Instagram, Batman TAS Figs on YouTube, and I'm joined by my co-host who is at the.batfan on Instagram. Scott, how you doing?
Hello to everybody listening. Hello, Tyler, and watching as well. Actually, can't forget the watchers.
Yes.
Feeling great, thank you. Yeah, how are you doing? All good?
I'm doing pretty good. I finally beat the Baxter's box puzzle.
Yes,
Without a sledgehammer.
It's only been since 1994, hasn't it? So we got there in the end.
It's been a while. But yeah, I feel like it's been a while since we last spoke, at least show. We had a guest, which was DCAU Review, which that was a lot of fun, but we've had a lot of Batman toy news and in terms of a lot of figures, and also Batman news for movies, so I'm pretty stoked for today.
Yes, we kind of sort of touched on the issue in the previous episode, but now we're going to get into full depth of what we think and ultimately what we hate about the new stuff. There's a lot to hate, there's a lot to love, and a little bit in between.
Yes. And first of all, I want to ask if you got any new figures this week.
Yes, new figures and new bits for figures. So I've long hated the Nightmare Batman now for about 6 months, the Mezco one. It used to be one of my favourite figures, but I don't know what it is. It just really went off it, and I think it was the fact that I found the Mafex one sat at the bottom of the cupboard, and I was like, do you know what? This is an amazing figure. The Nightmare Mezco got ditched, and I've been using that. So I decided to give him a bit of a makeover, and I brought him a new coat, which looks a lot better than the old one, I think, because the old one was it was very leathery, and it isn't a leather coat.
It looked like cheap pleather. That looks like suede.
The best thing is that the wires actually work in this coat. So I don't know. I mean, Lewis about the backlight said it may even been a QC issue because his tend to be all right, but mine did not stay in the position with the wires. But this guy looks brilliant, and he also came with some binoculars as well.
That does look really nice.
Yeah, I got them from. I want to make
huge
sure
credits.
16kit.co.uk. .com. Go and check it out. They're fantastic guys. I got a Bruce Wayne head sculpt for the Arkham Knight Batman as well. In fact, I might even try and find that to show you because it is absolutely amazing. This head sculpt. Here it is. It looks outstanding. I'm going to put it on Batman. This is live things happening right here. But if you're listening to this, I do apologise because you are going to be completely blind as to what's
Use
going
your
on
imagination.
Here. Yes, indeed. So I'll have to hold it on.
Oh!
It looks brilliant. I mean, how cool does that
straight up looks like it's from the game.
No, it looks magnificent. I'll have to obviously tack it on to use it, but
if you're watching, this isn't amazing. A cutscene from the game. That's just the
yeah. I know, it looks outstanding. I don't know how the hell they get the accuracy on these heads, but they're freaking amazing, and the detail is outstanding.
I expect to hear Kevin's voice come out.
Yeah, definitely have to go out and shoot that head sometime because it looks fantastic.
Wow. So there's the first secondary step into your foray into the expanded world of hot toys.
Yes.
Just a little addition, but it's growing. It's inching its way.
It is. It is. And I think I've said it before, but Deathstroke's probably going to be next. I'm resigned to the fact.
Freaking dope. And then you got Toys of Arkham always posting 6 pics of him.
Honestly, he is really frustrating me because he's wasting so much of my money with his stuff. Yeah, if you are listening, please stop doing it because I need to buy many, many more figures, especially that new Joker that's has come out. And I know it's not Hot Toys, but it looks brilliant. Aside from that, I did get 2 different waves of figures. So I'm going to start off with
2 different waves.
Okay, so I'm going to start off with something that I'm definitely going to start getting into. So growing up, I'd never read or been interested necessarily in the Batman comics. It's something that people always love to throw at me out. You don't read the comics and stuff like that, which is, it's fair enough. But I grew up.
Do you know what I appreciate about you when you do admit that is you're not like someone that's fake and tries to pretend like they know about it. You just have always been open about it. Like, I'm not a fan of comics.
Yeah, I mean, like, if I'm doing pictures of a figure that's from a comic, I'll try and do some research into it and make sure this, like, with a quote or something, and make sure it's actually got some kind of meaning behind it, and I'm not just buying the figure just to take a picture of it, if that makes sense. Like, I don't want to do stuff like that because it pees me off when other people do it and they pretend they know what they're on about. It's frustrating. So I want to make sure I get it right. And but The Long Halloween is a comic that over the last sort of year has absolutely fascinated me in every way. And people are going to be thinking, oh, is he literally been in a Batcave for the past like 20 years or whatever? But I'm going to buy it this week, and it fascinates me. The whole story does. It's going to be, well, more than likely, you'd say it's Matt Reeves' story inspiration from what we're hearing with villains and also pictures, which we'll talk about later. But I've brought the entire wave of the Long Halloween figures. I haven't even had a chance to unbox them yet.
Oh, sick! I was looking at pictures of him today because I had an episode with that guy.
Yes.
That is so awesome. Figure.
But they're amazing packaging. They arrived this morning. Not even had a chance to take them out of the box yet because I've been at work all day. But we've got Mad Hatter there. He looks brilliant. He really does. Catwoman, she's amazing. I mean, look at the Catwoman figure.
The purple.
Yeah.
Could it be?
She's fantastic. Well, yeah, this is it, isn't it? It could well happen. You got Two-Face as well. Two-Face looks brilliant.
Is essentially a story of his origin, which is awesome.
Yeah. Everyone loves a good Two-Face origin story. I mean, the detail on that figure is staggering. And then my two personal favourites. This is one of the best Joker figures I've ever seen. I mean, that is outstanding. 25th of December Joker.
And how perfect is it that he's already associated with Christmas with Batman the Animated Series, too?
I know, right? It's so true.
And you get a sweet accessory with the hat.
Yeah, absolutely. The hat and then the Santa's present bag there as well. I just love things like the calendar pieces. Yeah. And then last but not least, I do already have this figure, but I brought it used on its own. Now I've got a brand new Batman. It came with the set of figures, obviously, but he looks very cool. Very, very cool.
Do you think that we'll see those kind of shorts? That'd be cool.
And do you know what? It would be. And
some undies on the outside.
I hope they do have a go of it. It's quite a bold move to do the trunks in live action. But Matt Reeves is going for a bold look from the initial impressions. So why not? Let's have a go of it, see if it works, because it could.
I could see him working with those shorts like that.
Yeah, I think if they do it
like a biker short style.
Yeah, I think if they do it like an Arkham City sort of way, where it looks pretty good on that suit. Because that's the most realistic animated format I think that you're going to find. It's a good cross between realistic and animation. But so yeah, I got all those there. I can't wait to crack them out the package.
What did that run you?
Yeah,
that wave. If you don't mind me asking, how much did that cost? Was that expensive? Or have they gone up in price?
I think it's about £100 all in. So you're looking at about £20 a figure, which is pretty standard. Oh,
that's not bad.
Yeah, it's pretty standard action figure price. Well, it's actually a bit less than that now. It's about 25 in the UK for like the DC Essentials figures. So
okay,
it's not too bad.
Nice.
That, yeah, I mean, I'd much rather have one of these than the DC Essentials figures any day.
Heck yeah! I mean,
look at the packaging, man. I mean,
brilliant.
The packaging is straight from the comic. It's not a boring generic Essentials packet or something.
Just a white box.
Yeah, I mean that is literally like Joseph Loeb and Tim Sale right there. It's just amazing. Yeah, absolutely amazing. I love it.
I think that I might join you, and we might have to. We might have to review it on here. I think I want to read that.
Let's do it.
Yeah, I think that'd be fun. And I might have to buy those figures.
I want to get all the sequel to it now, the Dark Victory figure set as well, because you got like Gordon, Scarecrow, Penguin, Robin. I want to get all of them now.
Yeah, we'll have to definitely be talking about Batman stuff for the movie.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, it fascinates me, that comic, and I've obviously followed like bits of the storyline and read the sort of synopsis of it, and I want to read it. So yeah,
and even Christopher Nolan, when he's not ripping off BTAS, he was ripping off a lot of that storyline for Dark Knight.
Lewis said that, yeah, about the Bat Collector. He said the same thing. Like, there's a lot of Nolan stuff that he sort of pinched from that comic book in there.
Oh yeah,
yeah,
almost all the Two-Face stuff.
Yeah, for sure. And yeah, I really do hope the new movie is a combination of this comic book and Arkham Origins. Like, merge those together. I think that'd be amazing.
That would be. But you know what I think is more amazing?
That. Yes.
This picture.
Oh, thank you. That's very kind.
A lot of other people thought it was pretty amazing.
Thank you very much. No, that is very kind. It's a picture I've wanted to do for a while. Just take some of those
for the listeners. We're looking at a beautiful picture that is outside, but done from an extremely low point of view, looking up, and it is the Justice League part of the team from CW, and it is brilliant looking, especially with the tree branches in the back. I just love that.
Thank you. Yeah, I got a few funny looks when I was taking this picture.
Really?
Because it was on a walkway in local park. So yeah, it was good fun though. I picked out that location specifically because I just love the colours of the rocks on there and the trees in the backdrop. So.
And this is before we get into the past weekend's theme, because this is just too good of a shot. And then I wanted to definitely show this one off, because the posing on this, it looks like a hot toy, but it's not a hot toy.
Oh, yeah, thank you. That is really kind, because it took ages to get Batman to just... I always find these radical poses to try and put figures in, no problem at all. But when you try and get subtle poses on them, they just fall over constantly, and that's what he kept doing on this one. But yeah, I purposely tried to do more extreme shots lately because I've been neglecting them badly. So definitely wanted to do this one, and then that bullet head Joker is amazing. It really is amazing.
Yeah, that thing is really blowing my mind. At first, I was like, did he get those as hot toys?
He's now jacketless because I stole the jacket for Jack.
For Jack. He deserves it. He came first.
He does, yeah.
Now, this is into the past weekend theme with Lewis of At the Bat Collector, and it was a Valentine's theme.
Yes.
And this is the first shot.
Indeed, yeah.
How could you go wrong?
I had to start with Bruce and Talia, and this scene in particular, because I love the Wonder City scene, and I had a beautiful backdrop that I got a print screen from the game with, so I wanted to use that at some point. It's an amazing location and an amazing bit of artwork they did. I mean, the artwork gets overlooked a lot in these games, but that was amazing. Wonder City was just fantastic, and a great idea as well.
And that part of the game is insane.
Oh man, it is, isn't it? It really is.
And that figure, she does not get enough love. I think that's one of my favorite figures of the whole line, because that way they capture her face and everything, it looks beautiful.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that figure is one of the finest from the Arkham series, because you can tell they put a lot of effort into it. What you can't see on that figure is the bat ears and the eyes of the cowl draped backwards over his neck. Which is sculpted onto it, and it just looks amazing. I love how it's not sort of one of those tacky head swap things where it just goes like all the way back to his neck and then it just sort of cuts off to the head. They've actually sculpted in his neck and put a cowl draped over, which is brilliant. I love it when DC go to those sort of lengths to make the figure look realistic.
And speaking of realistic, Talia is very realistic.
Oh yeah, she's a great figure. Articulation is very limited, but in terms of looks, I think it's just absolutely flawless. It looks fantastic.
The stunner.
Yeah.
And then continuing on the Valentine's theme, this is perfect, and the snow just lightly on them too. It's
yeah, well, it doesn't really come across in this picture, but the snow was absolutely pelting down when I took that picture. It really was, and it doesn't come across still in the picture, but I really wanted to do a picture of these two. It was either these two or Lewis and Superman, and that's boring, so I went for these two instead together, because I think their relationship basically defined the entire Justice League story in the animated series, so I had to pay tribute to that. It's a brilliant story. Definitely,
and I also love the way just the snow looks, because it's cold. it gives you a feeling of coolness, but also the snow looks very light, fluffy.
Nice one. So, yeah, I mean, it's inspired by Comfort and Joy, the Justice League episode. Massively inspired by that.
Well, I just love the way the snow gives me the vibes of the fluffiness. It's very light. And then this, I mean, how could you go wrong with this as well for Valentine's?
Yeah, it's an unwritten rule that you've got to put Batman and Catwoman in there, isn't it? And
got her a rose. He didn't forget.
Has to be done. Yeah.
On top of just saving Gotham every night, you remembered to bring a rose, and you're also showing off the brilliant new Dio you got.
Oh man, I love the Dio. It's great. There's so many different ways you can use the diorama, and hopefully people are going to enjoy what I've got to come with it. Yeah.
Well, you got this, and you got that new camera. You got new figs. You're killing it.
You're trying to keep up with everybody else. Trying to keep up with you.
This one got people really excited, especially because you really blended that background superbly. And I just really liked all the angles and the lines. And it's a close-up, but you can see a lot of depth.
Thank you. Yeah, so the print screen from that one is from Torch Song, the TNBA episode.
I was thinking Scratch My Back.
Yeah, it's with the Casty poster is on the background of that building there. But yeah, I haven't done many pictures of Batgirl and Nightwing together. In fact, I've done hardly any, which is pretty criminal, really. I've not photographed these two in a long time, so definitely wanted to do that. And yeah, I just put the aperture really low on this one so that it blurred the background. And I like doing that for animated pictures. I've done it on a few more within the last few weeks.
Well, it looks like a lot of people enjoy it as well.
Yeah, I mean, it just blows me away, that reaction. It's really, really kind of people. And
it's little touches like what you did with the stairs on top of the Rogues gallery right there. It's little stuff like that just it's not, everyone else a lot of other people have that background, but the way you just add different things to it makes it your own.
Yeah, thank you. And I always like to just add stuff like that. It just makes it look more realistic with the street, I think, or just crams in all the shitty stuff that Gotham has everywhere.
Yeah.
And yeah, like all the rubbish cans and the cats everywhere and stuff like that.
Tico's spying.
Yeah, Tico, absolutely. I was going to use Isis, but I decided to go for Tico just because it's a bit brighter colour and he was in
it matches her hair.
So it does match Bob's hair, yeah.
And this one is also very cool. We finally get to see the golden gun. The one reason I almost wanted to buy this, just for that gun.
Oh, the gun's amazing, yeah. I really tried to experiment with lighting on this one. I used a bike light for the red on Harley Quinn and then just put it on the lights that I use for the... I think if I'd show you the lights there, it's got like a base that lights up. And... which currently is deciding not to light up. There we go. So it lights up. It is red. It looks orange. I can assure you that's red. On there.
Dang, that's cool that the base lights up as well.
Yeah, they're awesome lights. They really are. I just lit the base up of that and then put it in the next room behind it. I think it's on the extreme setting. Just waxing a load of accessories. But I just so badly would love to see these two in a movie together. I mean, it's never going to happen now, but I would just love to have seen them with a solid director and the right sort of makeup on both of them. I think they'd be brilliant together, these two.
Yeah, with Birds of Prey losing money, I don't think we'll see them together anytime.
No, it's such a shame.
This picture
really
is absolutely brilliant, and I love the maniacal laughter that they both have. Just spot on.
Thank you. Yeah, I love that head sculpt on Joker. It's amazing.
And Harley just looks like she's having a blast. And these shoes on her, this could almost look as like a hot toy as well.
Yeah, Mezco did a great job on that figure. I don't take pictures of it often enough, really. It's fantastic.
And then you got these bad boys.
Yes, finally got these three. So those three figures are unbelievable. I love every single one of them for different reasons. And I didn't think I was going to enjoy the Batman anywhere near as much as I do, but he is amazing. DC Collectibles ones recently have been pretty crap. I really hate that Batcycle Batman. I can't stand the ab crunch at all, and this is how they should have done the ab crunch on the Batman.
I agree.
The way McFarlane had done it, yeah. It's just brilliant. I love the head sculpt on this Batman. I know it's not an entirely accurate Batman, and people always say that. And
no.
Yeah.
I feel like if we put it within the comics and we talk to our boys at DC Review, I feel like it's in continuity.
Yeah.
All in all.
True. Yeah, that's true. I think it's like a greatest hits Batman, isn't it? Because he's got the belt of the Justice League animated one, he's got the head of the New Adventures one, and he's got the design of the original animated one. I believe he's got the cape colours of the Justice League one as well. I think it's
definitely.
It's more of a deep blue, which is more of a light blue on the animated one, but
lines up more with Superman's color.
Absolutely, yeah, definitely does. I mean, he's just so good. He's just so cool, and the articulations are magnificent. I mean, there are some rough edges on it, like they're
not a fan
massive.
of the legs, really. They get loose.
They do.
And
he doesn't stand up particularly well. I think it's the cape, to be honest. The cape is very, very heavy, whereas Superman's cape is quite light, to be honest. I was expecting Superman
big old shoulders.
Oh man, I was expecting Superman to be my favourite, and he definitely is. I mean, he's unbelievable. I love the cape. Absolutely love the cape.
That's the first time I got to see a good view of the cape. That actually is very nice.
Yeah, it looks great.
They give it some motion. It's not just straight up and down.
And he just looks incredibly imposing with the big shoulders, and yeah, he looks fantastic. And then GL too. GL is amazing. Just super aggressive, and fantastic.
He's my favorite of those three.
I can see why.
I love the ring, how big.
I mean, even the accessories are great. I love the gun he comes with. I took a picture of him really close up with the gun, which I'm gonna have to upload. And the steel accessory for Superman is brilliant as well. I really like it.
I can't wait to see you do. I want you to try to convince me to buy him.
I'll do a Superman v Darkseid picture, definitely. But
heck yeah.
Superman is absolutely phenomenal. I love everything about him. The articulation, the color. The color's beautiful. I love the head sculpt. I get the issue with the hair. I understand it, but
I even like how the cape slacks in the middle and shows a little bit of blue in the back.
Yeah,
that's very classic Superman from the first movie.
Yeah,
where the cape sagged a little.
It is, yeah. I mean, it's just unreal. I love those figures so much. They're fantastic. They really are, and they photograph pretty nicely. Yeah, GL's accessories are brilliant.
Picture, this is one of my favorite pictures you've done of any Justice League, because I just love the lighting and the way you did it. It just looks really nice.
Thank you.
It's simple,
really
but
kind.
effective.
Not taking a picture of that extreme set for a long time as well.
How many people said Transformers? How many?
I was just going to say that it definitely is a watchtower for any Transformer fans watching that. Yeah, no one's been moaning about it, which is even better. But yeah, they're brilliant figures. I love them so much. They're absolutely fantastic. And
I even like how you put the little accessory on John.
Yeah,
his communicator.
Yeah,
that's one of the coolest things too.
So Nick's the handcuffs from the DC Universe Classic, Mr. Miracle. Keyboards from Playmobil. The GL accessory, the Axe GL accessories from LCMK2. And then you've got the Batman's grapple gun there, which is awesome, by the way. A great accessory. And then, last but not least, Darkseid's, the Mezco Darkseid's mother box, which fits perfectly to Superman's hand. It looks great.
Yeah, and that grapple gun that Batman comes with, he uses that in the first few episodes of BTAS.
Yeah.
So it's very accurate.
I love the eyes on Batman as well.
They're hard to light, but yeah.
A lot of people have definitely been complaining, and rightfully so, about the eyes. But I think, they can definitely be lit up with some strong lighting on them. I really love all these figures. They're amazing. They really are.
Now, we pushed this back a day because you were supposed to get some other figures, so we do have some figures to look forward to, right?
We do, yeah. So I'm furious with Royal Mail for this, because they're delivering it today. They usually just leave it in a safe place, no problem. And then they've decided today, for no reason at all, to send them back to the post office. So I'm now going to go and pick them up myself, which is deeply annoying, because they were supposed to be here today, but it's Hellbat, Batman Who Laughs, Harley Quinn, and the Armored Superman. They were the 4 that were supposed to be arriving today, which is annoying, but still, yeah.
And I don't have Armored Superman or Hellbat, so we're going to be looking for you on the good review on that.
Yes, you recently got the Batman Who Laughs, didn't you? And you took some killer pictures of Batman Who Laughs, which is what we're going to get them on screen now. There it is. I mean, that's a fantastic shot.
Would you believe that this was a mistake shot? Like the cardboard fell out and you can see it starting to cut down. But I was like, well, this looks good. I'm going to keep shooting. Hope it doesn't burn.
No, I really like this. I really like this picture. It's fantastic and a great idea as well. It'd have been easy to just take a picture of him in the Batcave slaying things, but I think that's a fantastic picture.
I wanted to go big on it because I feel like you saw a lot of people doing some just shots of him in low dark and like a lot of bloody and stuff. I was like, I just want to get some brilliant radiant shot because you didn't get enough detail. I feel like this guy, of all the McFarlane figures I have so far, he's the most detailed. They put a lot of work into him.
There is, like all the buckles around him and the sort of cape.
Almost dropped my mic. So here he is, and like even down here, he has so much detail. Like even in the phrase and it is unbelievable.
I'm sorry, but for 20 quid, I mean, people that still moan about this figure, it's just
on his ridiculous. Accessories, it's like even a brownish rust color where it's like, oh, there's dried blood on there. It's like this guy's grotesque, but that's how he is in the comics.
Yeah.
His boots are like they're good. They're so cool. Even has tread on them. So it's like, and even on Batgirl, which we'll be seeing her later. She even has on the bottom. I just noticed even has bat signals. She has bat signals everywhere. Her gloves, like she even has a backpack.
Oh, awesome.
No one,
Mattel
would never do this, even if it was in the comics. Like, no one's going to see it. No one's going to see it. They'd never do that.
It's actually so true, you know. And
like the cape, like even like what on Superman, the cape is fantastic.
Was thinking aloud about this the other day, and when you see Mattel, they had sort of horrible shiny paint jobs on most of their figures, but I mean, this is something that I know we obviously look at this picture of Batgirl now, we've noticed it, but also noticing it myself when I was taking pictures of these Justice League animated wave. There's no gloss and shine on them whatsoever. It's just a pure matte finish. It's what I love about it. You know, it's
only where there needs to be shine, there's shine.
Absolutely, yeah, absolutely, and there's no horrible shine from the light and that glossy finish that they have on them. You know, it's just a pure matte lighting, so that there's absolutely no gloss on it whatsoever, which is something I love because you can just throw all the lighting on there and it doesn't have like loads of shiny spots with it.
Yeah, and with that picture right there, I was sitting there like, do I do a headshot because it's so much detail and it looks so beautiful with just our headshot, or do I show off everything? I gotta show off everything because just so cool.
I mean, if you like looking at this picture here, like that, there's loads of shine spots on there. I mean, it's a great figure, I love it, but there's loads of shine spots on there just to give you an idea of the paint job on the figures. But then when you look at that, how it's sort of matte and it just has like a nice shine down the left hand side of Batgirl. It looks brilliant.
It acts like cloth wood, which is
it does. It just goes to show you can do it when you put the effort into it, because they're fantastic figures. They really are. I'm blown away by them. I was very, very surprised that I love them this much.
Yeah, I'm surprised. Well, I knew that I would love this Batgirl figure. I just didn't know how much. But she's really cool. And then, of course, I also got Nightwing.
Oh, now Nightwing looks insane. I mean, he looks so Titans-esque.
That's the coolest part. A figure that actually puts this in. I've never had it.
That's the best accessory of all. I just love the way they sit on his shoulders from the front on pictures.
Yeah, they're perfect. And this is like a perfect comic. Nightwing, Titans.
Yeah.
That's what you want.
The head sculpt looks unreal. I really love that Nightwing.
I just want to chuck my icons going. He looks like a little baby next to this. This is like a perfect all-time Nightwing. Agreed. And I still have I also have that, the Build-A-Figure that they came with.
Do you know what? I actually really like that Batmobile. Specifically this.
And here's a scale It's about as tall as a figure.
I really like that Batmobile. It looks brilliant. Took some great pictures of it, by the way.
They put a lot of work into it. Thank you very much. Yeah, I didn't at first. I was like, "How am I going to shoot this?" But figured it out. But they do charge an extra $5 for these ones. I found out from the DCAU review commented, and that's why the normal ones without build a figure cost $20, and these ones at GameStop cost $25. So they do charge a little bit more, but this is what you get. And I mean, it's okay. It's pretty cool if you're, especially if you're into cars. I've just never really been into cars outside of course, the Batmobile. I would want one that's actually huge, like you could use and scale. But it's a cool thing to get. I remember when they did the Batarang, I wanted to get that just because it was cool, novelty to get. And eventually, I sold it. But I don't know. I think it's cool. I don't know how I feel. It's not like I'm going like crazy for it, but I don't necessarily want to give it away.
I mean, I know. Todd McFarlane said eventually you'll have like a whole collection of Batmobiles. So he's obviously going to do loads of different ones, like TV and games and stuff like that. So I think there's some cool ones upcoming. I think that the animated series Batmobile will get made.
And this one's very much like the end of the Golden Age, beginning Silver Age in comics with the Batram, and also a lot BTAS at the back end, of course.
Some lovely paint details on there that you can see on the picture as well. It's
fantastic. And even I haven't taken a picture of this, but they even put like a fluorescent backlight, so it looks like a flame with the right lighting.
That's awesome.
Eventually, I'll have to do a picture of that. But if you have been collecting like the Jack specific Batmobiles, for those of you that do collect that, and they also come with the little figures. I think if you have those and you're starting to collect these as well, it's going to be pretty cool. And if you're already buying figures, at least you don't have to buy or spend another $10 to $15 on just getting the Jack specific Batmobile.
Yeah. And that's it. I mean, you don't have to buy 3 figures if you desperately want the Batmobile. It's not the end of the world. And I mean, like if you look at what Mattel were doing, you can guarantee something like the Hellbat that would have been a connect and collect figure.
Oh,
but now you can just pay $20 to get it. So you've got it then. Exactly. So I don't really mind them doing it, to be honest. I don't think it's that big a deal.
No, especially because it's 3. I mean, at the least, like we would be happy with 4 figures to make Lobo. We thought that was cool. I mean, this is pretty cool for 3. Yeah. And I mean, they're figures you want too. So it's not like you're buying like Hasbro. They give you like the like C-list or D-list characters from
true.
The oldest X-Men comics, and you have to buy that to finish like an important character. Even with DC Multiverse, like, do I really want to have to buy the Wonder Woman's mom to finish this Build-A-Figure? It's like that sort of thing.
Yeah.
So
and it's
at least they're figures you want.
Yeah, because like the Suicide Squad figures, like it was impossible to get Deadshot or Harley. Then all the other figures were everywhere. I mean, every orifice of every shop.
And Katana.
Yeah. Like they were just
Katana Army.
Everywhere. Oh man, the amount of Captain Boomerangs I've seen is crazy.
And this I thought was a good picture because a lot of people just are wondering why they were so lazy on the Batman. And you just see that even the scale of the head doesn't look completely accurate with how with the others. So hopefully they do another Batman that is up to par with those other 2, because so far he seems to be the only figure they've given the least amount of love to.
Yeah, the head sculpt on that Batman is quite weak, isn't it? Really, and
even his diaphragm joint is like it looks loose and more separate from the body, and the other ones like Batgirl and Nightwing, they're tight. They're almost seamless.
Yeah.
Hopefully they go back and they redo him soon.
Yeah, I think we'll definitely see another Batman before too long.
I don't know. I don't think they'll make another Batman in the DC Multiverse. No, I'm just kidding.
Really? Could you imagine if
they'll be milking that forever. They've already got 3 or 4 Batman figs in the first wave.
Brilliant. So just a quick shout out to this picture as well. GL. I love that picture.
Thank you. That one I had to use a essential oil diffuser. It got a green light for it.
Oh, nice. Guys, I love hearing things like that. You go to different lengths to get the figures to look cool. It's fantastic.
Yeah, I didn't want to have to drive to a store to get a green light.
Well, we're looking here. This picture as well. That's an outstanding shot.
That is and that's one like we talked about. I finally have all the BTS updated versions of a picture I did a while ago. So I just finally redid it, and I think even though as much as we hate the diaphragm joint or the ab crunch on that Batman, the different movements we get with the cape and stuff are pretty good. Yeah, so I think that added some effect. And then I put the kissy face on the Harley, so that added a little bit more.
Mm-hmm. How long did this take you to set up, and how many figures fell over in the making of this picture?
I would say it only took two attempts to set them all up.
Oh, okay.
I had to put Joker. He's leaning on a cut up stand that's put in the foam board. That's from like the BTAS figures. I just cut one, stuck it in there, leaned his head against it, so he was stable. And then having to get them all leaned up against each other, that was the tough part. But it because I remembered how the shot went before. It was helpful. So that's the only reason it was a little helpful.
But yeah, that's amazing, that one.
Thank you. I'm glad. It's one of my favorite Alex Ross shots. It just looks so awesome seeing all the Rogues gallery.
Now, this one, for a couple of different reasons, I really like. Mainly because it's so accurate to the title cover. It looks fantastic, and also for the fact that you got the light lines across them.
Yes.
It looks absolutely fantastic. And that's the new croc as well, right?
That is not the newest croc. I haven't opened that yet, but I am going to open it because one of our previous guests, Kwame, messaged me and he wanted me to do a check and see it. He thinks that the new wave is a little scaled up bigger than the original Rogue Gallery. So I might open that croc up and check it when I do my he's going to be my next Versus because I've been doing that Versus series. Yeah. So they'll be next, and he'll be the first of the new wave that I open as well.
Nice. You can do a versus.
Yeah, the three-fer.
Yeah, definitely.
But I'm glad you like that. I used a bench. Actually, the bench that I used in the Batman Superman shot at the park.
Oh, okay.
I just stuck a phone light through that, and I went back and forth to see how I could get it lined up. And yeah, it was interesting to try to shoot that while trying to hold the light with the bench and get it with the camera. So that's.
Shots like that never get the response that they deserve in my eyes because they,
But I'm glad that I enjoy that people
same with that.
Enjoy it because that's all I care about is like the fan. Like as long as you're a fan of the show, you know what that is and you respect it.
Yeah,
I don't care if it's too flash.
This as well. The Fear and Victory, I love that one. The detail on Scarecrow is absolutely fantastic.
Yeah, and that's one I've never taken a good. I've tried to, but I've never been able to take a good up close photo of him. Now because I have a new camera, I finally was able to, I'm going to try to get this figure a good look. And thankfully, I was able to get it. But you can see there's a little bit of paint mess up around the teeth and stuff. But overall, I love this figure.
Yes, and actually, we're talking in close-ups. This one is brilliant. Did you use a screen background on that, or is that diorama?
I didn't. No, that's actually a picture of my TV screen because it's such a quick thing. I couldn't find a good print screen. I couldn't do it on my TV, and I couldn't watch DC Universe on the computer I have, the personal one, because of their weird setup where I guess they don't want other people using your app. So I had to watch it on TV and just find a frame where I could take a picture and it didn't look too digitized, where you could see all the pixels. And thankfully, it worked out, and that's what I want. I was thinking of doing an updated version of when I tried to just draw the images, but I was like, no, that's so much work, and I'm not that good of an artist, so I just went with that.
I really enjoyed that picture. Brilliant.
I had to watch that back because I love that episode.
Yeah, it is a fantastic episode, that one.
Never gets old to me.
Definitely one of the best. And speaking of episodes, I instantly loved this show.
Do you think I was hoping that you would like it because I was hoping that you would know exactly where I was taking inspiration from.
Very, very Arkham City-like, this one.
Yes.
Incredibly Arkham City-like. It's probably why I enjoyed it so much, but I think it's fantastic. The Photoshop work on it here is absolutely flawless.
Which that was the most fun about it, and it took a decent chunk of the night to figure it all out and do, but it was fun, and I wanted to put a lot of imagery in this because we've talked about before with this Mad Hatter. He's a brilliant figure, and he's a perfect representation of what he looks like on the episode in the series, but he doesn't have that much articulation, so there's not too many crazy poses you could do with him or anything like that.
Yeah.
So you have to get creative with the setups, and this one I wanted to do a lot of like symbolism and stuff, and so like he's like a loner. He's got the broken heart in the background, but it's like fragmented right where his hat is. So he's also mentally deranged. And he's got his bunny heads, and that was fun to do, like taking a picture of a plush and photoshopping the head on there. And then I also use the pills and the time. It's like as much as you have pills, there's always a time you're going to need more.
Yeah.
So
it's his specialty. His specialty.
Yes.
I love that. It's brilliant. No, it's a fantastic picture. I really enjoyed that one, and this one as well. The flash pictures.
Yeah, that was a fun one. I just spur of the moment came up with because my cousin, he loves Back to the Future, and he actually has that toy. That car is not like that's actually a toy. He has it, and I was like, I'm gonna try to incorporate that in somehow. And I figured these two would be pretty good since they were recently seen together.
Yeah, brilliant, and that's Soap Studio Flash.
Never gets bad. Hopefully they update the version with the white chest symbol. I hope they do update.
He's a fantastic figure, that one. And there's one more shot I did want to just completely lost. There we go. The Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles v Batman. I don't know if a few shots of these coming up as well, and they're absolutely brilliant, aren't they? These figures. I mean, they never cease to amaze with the beauty of them.
Oh, and talk about what you were saying with the matte paint. That's the one thing I really love about these. It's like a heavy matte. It looks perfectly animated.
I love it when figures have a matte finish. I mean, the NECA 89 Batman's the same. Like, you can just throw all the lighting at them that you can possibly find sometimes, and it looks brilliant. And then equally, you can use really low lighting, and it just looks really shadowy on them. And it's perfect. It really is. It's fantastic lighting.
Yeah, and that background is the ready sets, and that's just like what you talked about, the extreme sets. And I have to use that subway thing more too. I'm reminded because I was thinking like, dang, I haven't shot that. But even with the ready sets, there's so many different corners and different ways you can shoot it. It's like, man, I have to start using that even more.
No, there is. You're absolutely right. Yeah. But no, I really enjoyed that picture. And liking the use of the ready sets. It reminds me of the Wayne Enterprises scene at the start.
Good.
That one. But yeah.
Fantastic. And that's what's puzzling about those figures is every time I go to a GameStop, I just see their shelves are loaded with them. Like, do people not enjoy these?
I genuinely don't get that. I really don't, because they've made them the US exclusives, and they don't seem to be selling that. I think eventually they'll put them in the UK anyway, like they did at the Justice League figures. But really strange. DC Collectibles. Well, something I did notice, they changed to DC Directs on Instagram now.
Yes!
Which is good, because DC Collectibles...
I hope that we are part of that. They don't want to be too much like our show.
Yeah. I mean, I think DC's Collectibles for the last 2 years now, 3 years, have been in steady decline. I mean...
free fall.
Yeah, I mean, back in the DC Direct days when they had guys that were really passionate about figures and accuracy of figures, I think that's... certain companies do things really well, like Mafex base themselves on articulation and then make the figure look great around that. Whereas DC Directs used to make a figure look epic and then put articulation second. And I think DC Direct were very, very good at that, as shown on these figures. You know, the long Halloween stuff, you know.
That's actually a great way to put it, the way you just broke that down.
Articulation was the secondary thing and making the figure look good was the priority. And they've fallen from that. I mean, like the new Bat Cycle Batman, I get why they put the ab crunch in for that, but don't put it in for the new one. Like the single pack release, it looks awful. I get it for the Bat Cycle. I know why they've done it, and you know, I don't think anyone could argue with that. But please don't put it in the single release one. It looks shocking. It really does.
I mean, unless you're going to do it the way that McFarlane did it, don't do it.
Exactly. Yeah, the diaphragm, perfect way to put it. Yeah, it is clean. Perfect. Very clean, and actually it blends into some of like the muscle tone sometime. I mean, you can make it look good like Mondo did.
Oh yeah,
it looks good on that figure. I know it's a bigger scale, but you know, anything can be scaled down these days.
Speaking of Mondo, do we want to talk about new figures now? Because
absolutely,
I saw that Zulu posted a little bit about how he wasn't impressed with the Catwoman Mondo. With the hair, at least the unmasked version.
I didn't see what Zulu wrote, but I mean, it doesn't look the best. It looks too smiley for my liking, to be honest.
but he was not impressed with the way the hair looks. He basically said, "Don't call it BTS Catwoman if you're not going to do it right," in his post and tagged us. So you could tell he is such a perfectionist, and you could tell by his work because it's brilliant. And that's what we appreciate about him. So he is on it. I hope that he does get it just so he can fix it, show him off.
Yeah, I hate that they put the Bruce Wayne head on that all black suit version of, well, not all black, all like where the blue highlights were. It's all black now, isn't it, on the suit?
Yeah,
I think that's pretty disappointing because I think the original one looked great, and then they go and make a worse one with a brilliant head sculpt. So it's very strange.
They got to get you to buy it.
Yeah, true. I mean, then Mr. Freeze was brilliant, and if they
He's
make
the
a
best.
Robin, I think if they make a Robin, or when they make a Robin, I might get that, even if it's just a Robin on its own. Like, because Robin's my favourite character, I'd probably say, from BTS, so I'd probably buy Robin.
That would be cool, just to see a Robin that's not smiling.
Yeah, definitely. But I mean, I don't think Catwoman's a bad figure, but it's not the best, especially considering the creative freedom they've got with that scale. That makes it even more disappointing. However, on conversation of good Catwoman figures, was been revealed to have a brand new figure on the way from DC Directs now, as they are calling themselves on Instagram.
DC.
But
what's the new figure?
Yes. Yeah, so it's the DC Collectibles, The Adventures Continue Catwoman.
The Adventures Continue Catwoman? What?
Yes.
This is breaking news, people. At least for me.
It's breaking news right here. Now, I need to try and find a picture of her somewhere, because predictably I can't find it.
What does she look
Here we
like?
go.
Is she purple?
She is not purple.
I mean, she's only been gray and black. How is it going to change her?
Here we go. Here's the pictures of the figures that are going to be coming out soon.
That Catwoman. I've seen that. Yeah,
Yes.
we know what you're talking about. The unmasked. Okay. I was thinking it was like a whole different interpretation.
No. Fortunately, this is just the normal
The
version for now.
reprint.
But yeah, I did really like these figures. Apologies about my shocking work here with the mouse. There we go. So yeah, Catwoman looks pretty good on that. I know people have been criticising head sculpts, and Zulu's
No, I think that looks good.
I know Zulu's been trying to take credit for it, but I mean, it didn't take a rocket scientist to do a head swap, really, did it? I mean, we've been asking for it for ages, and then they finally give it us, and then we're complaining, like, come on.
I wouldn't be complaining. I'm stoked. I don't have to do the sculpting myself.
Yeah. I mean, I love the New Adventures Batman repaint as well. I think it looks great. The belt looks so much better, and I love the highlights.
What I love about it is that I don't have to pay inflated prices to get it because my other one's jacked up and they got to redo. That's awesome.
Yeah.
I don't have to pay.
It looks fantastic.
I'll gladly pay $30 not to pay $50.
I mean, Batman Who Laughs, I think.
Yes, I'll be getting that.
And I don't know why, but I love the Vampire Batman. I think he looks very cool. I'm not keen on the ab crunch again. I don't like it, but I don't know. I love the cape on it. Love the arms on him. Head sculpt looks great. Looks like a good Halloween Batman.
Oh, that's going to be what it will have to be used for. Majority is like some crazy Halloween photos or zombie Batman.
I do really like that figure. I don't know why. I shouldn't, but I do. I think it looks fantastic.
Oh, you could even do it for like cool what if shots if he get bit by Man-Bat. He'd be like turning into Man-Bat. I think it's cool. And I also like how long they made the cape. And hopefully we could take that off and make it for more dramatic poses on the other Batman.
Could even do like a head swap and put it on.
Terry.
You could do the Terry McGinnis Batman from the Splicers episode.
Which is an awesome episode. I'm glad they did that.
It is, yeah.
That was that's probably my favorite Batman Beyond episodes outside the first two, the two-parter.
Yeah. I mean, they're fantastic figures. We also saw some...
The zombies, speaking of Halloween.
Like the Flash and stuff, still not really very keen. I like the Joker and the Harley Quinn from that wave, but the rest of them I'm not really that keen. I probably will get the Joker. He's probably been, I know you're a long time fan of that figure, but he's probably been the best DC Essentials figure they've done so far, apart from Red Hood, maybe.
Yeah, and I'm thinking I might have to get that Red Hood just to go with my new McFarlane Bat family.
Yes, definitely. I mean, that Red Hood is an amazing figure. Can't recommend it enough. It's fantastic. Love to see McFarlane have a go over Red Hood, actually. I think they'd be interesting.
Yeah, I was just gonna say, like, I was afraid that if I buy DC Essential, they'll just release the McFarlane version. It'll be cooler.
Yeah, true.
You'll have two helmets, one shiny and one matte. It's like that. And speaking of McFarlane and new reveals, we got the new Wonder Woman Kingdom Come style. I know you just bought the original version, but now we got the movie version.
Yes.
And I want to give credit to Toy Snap, who has been a previous guest. He's the first person I saw that posted it. I know you probably saw somewhere else.
Yes. I'm going to try and find a picture of her for this because she's just so a staggeringly cool figure. It really is.
I love how long the wings are.
Yeah. No, she looks absolutely sensational. Where was it that you saw? Who did you say?
The Toy Snap story.
Toy Snap. But I mean, the Wonder Woman looks utterly incredible because of the accuracy. So you look at it and think, I genuinely believed it was a Mafex figure.
Oh my gosh!
I mean, that looks
for you listeners. You just got to see it.
Yeah,
there's no word.
Absolutely amazing figure. It really is.
Take that, Captain Marvel. No.
Yeah. I mean, that's absolutely stunning. And the fact that they've shown it already, hopefully it'll get released in conjunction with the movie.
Literally a golden goddess. Yeah, we still haven't seen that Harley.
Yeah, I hope we get that Harley soon.
Where's she at?
Very excited to see that Harley. And, yeah, we'll definitely be getting her when she comes out. But, yeah, there's loads of cool stuff coming out from McFarlane right now.
Do you think they'll just do an all-movie line?
That would be cool.
Movie wave where like Harley, Diana, all that.
That would be cool. Yeah. So they've also revealed a normal Wonder Woman, like in the normal costume from the movie. It doesn't look as good as that one, but there's no picture to show you of that at the moment. But I've seen it around on Instagram. You can probably find it if you look through hashtags. But yeah, I mean that looks pretty good. Not as good as the armored one though. The armored one looks utterly incredible.
Well, does the new one, does it have a list of accessories it comes with? Because we know she's not supposed to be using the sword and all that in the new ones.
I saw it with a lasso on the side of it, but that's also just a picture of her with the lasso on her hip.
I know she's supposed to be using her tiara and stuff, so hopefully they come with a removable tiara in some version. Cool. Or something.
That would be cool.
Gotta have some accessory. You can't just take them all away.
I know, yeah, it's true.
Well, she doesn't use a sword anymore.
Which is still stupid, by the way.
Yes. And then, now that we've transitioned so smoothly into the DCEU, or whatever they call it, we haven't gotten to talk about the new the footage test, or whatever they want to call it, since I think they're all doing it that way now since the Joker first revealed like that. But with Pattinson's Batman, what'd you think?
I actually like it, you know. I like the look of the suit so far. It's very Arkham Origins like, if you ask me, the way that the suit's designed. I quite like that. And there's lots of 0 year and year one things built into there. And yeah, I quite like it, to be honest. And I like the fact that the emblem is the gun as well. I think that's quite cool. A lot of people were saying, "Oh, that's dumb. Bruce Wayne wouldn't do that," but he does do that, and he has done that in the comics.
I mean, it just makes so much sense.
Yeah, I think.
If he's like, man, I don't want to go out, or man, I'm scared, and he just looks down like, nah, I made my vow. Like it's just right there. I think you got to remind yourself.
I quite like the cowl as well. It's been taking the mick out of that. I hope the ears aren't super long. I hope they're like a medium length ear on them, and then you know. Everyone's going nuts about the purple gloves. I hope they aren't purple gloves. I think it just looks dumb on Batman.
No, I have rumors about what the purple gloves are, and it's from a source that sent me stuff on Joker a month in advance. I've been going to look for it because I want to send you and show you how accurate this guy's stuff was. But I have heard rumors that the gloves will be lined with purple.
Right. Okay.
When he's putting them on, you'll see a hint of like purple lining the gloves.
See, that's better. I think that's
a nice touch. Some respect, but not looking like it's just bizarre.
Yeah. I like the colours they've gone for as well. I like the grey with the black bat symbol.
there are rumors too that might be the first Batsuit that we saw. There might be 2 Batsuits because we might see the first version get destroyed early on.
Yeah.
Yeah. Of course, that'd be cool. And also, there's also supposed to be rumors scenes of a circus. We don't know what that could constitute, but we know Penguin's involved. And also, Dick Grayson, and not like what you mentioned. Dark Victory is a sequel to Long Halloween, so this could be just world building. And there's also rumors of a Halloween party, fancy dress, which that would be cool.
Did see a picture of what looks to be Penguin walking out of a building, and there was pumpkins on the side of the building and stuff. So I think that's very interesting.
I think that'd be such a cool look, just the Halloween bat.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, absolutely. I think it would be fantastic to see. Everything that's seen so far from the movie, I quite like the look of. So yeah, I hope for more.
And then outside of just a few things about Catwoman, just barely nothing really significant.
Yeah,
that's all I've got on the movie. Yeah, but this is the part that I actually love more than the movie, because usually the movie sucks unless it's like Joker, or, it ends up being fantastic.
Yes.
So this is actually like the funnest part.
It is, yes, absolutely.
Let the imagination run wild.
Just picturing what's going to be happening. It's always interesting when you see the first look of things. You have like a clear image in your head of what it's going to be like, and then you see the movie and then think back to it like, whoa, I was so wrong about that. And it's fascinating. It really is. Yes.
No, I didn't mean like all Batman movies suck. I mean, in general, when movies get hyped.
Absolutely.
Usually the Batman movies tend to be the best, but other movies you get hyped up and it's like, why did
usually Star Wars movies of the modern age are the ones that you get hyped up about, and then you watch them and like, oh, that really?
Dude, I felt miserable after watching the last Star Wars. Like, why did I waste my time? But,
or like Marvel movies as well. So, prime example.
But I did actually like Homecoming. Yeah. I did like that. I enjoyed the
Homecoming. Yeah, it was okay. Yeah, it was okay. To be fair, it's interesting to see where they take that story. But it's like you look at something like Endgame. It was bigged up as one of the best movies ever, and no one even like recognised the movie's existence at the awards because it was crap. So that was enjoyable.
Well, even if you look at the final fight scene too, because they had to do so much digital stuff, the color of everything is so ugly and brown, dirty looking. It looks, it's like they're supposed to be colorful superheroes, and because of all the digital effects, it just look orange. So it wasn't even a pretty movie. It's just like, there they are.
Indeed.
All right, so we do have. Speaking of digital effects and everything looking orange, we're going to be talking about What is Reality today, which is your favorite Riddler episode, I believe.
It is absolutely my favorite Riddler episode. I love this episode a lot. I love all the Riddler episodes, to be honest. I think the last one that we did, If You're So Smart, Why You're Rich, I think that I give it a 9.5 out of 10, I think.
Yeah.
So, or 9 out of 10, I can't remember, but this one's utterly brilliant. I love this episode a lot. It's one of my all-time favourites, so yeah, I was looking forward to reviewing this one. It was great fun rewatching it. Love it.
So, your first thoughts when you think about it? What comes to mind?
I mean, initially, I suppose you wouldn't really think it is a Riddler episode until you see the guy walk up to the ATM and Riddle appears on the screen, and you're like, okay, this is going somewhere now with the story. But I love the whole concept behind it, of how Edward Nygma's just trying to delete himself. I love that idea, that he's just a pure emotionless man who wants to just be rid of himself and become the alter ego of the Riddler. I think it's brilliant.
Yeah, I do like that part, and I do like the part that marries the fact that we're kind of transitioning into a world that's old school, and we're going into a more technological world where it's easy to delete the stuff that's digital form, but he has to find out a way to get rid of the physical copies. I really enjoyed that aspect.
Yeah,
and that was a riddle in of itself for him.
Yeah.
So where we start off is like what you said. We start off and we see a man jogging, and he's jogging up to an ATM, which I just find that bizarre. Because around here, like, people carry weapons just when they're walking in case someone attacks them. So why would you be carrying around a bunch of money while you're jogging? But we see that he gets a riddle proposed to him by the ATM, and he's annoyed and just wants his money. Then he sees a nice bounce of over $5,000, and he's pleased, and then it quickly dwindles to nothing. And we see a bunch of different things like that happen all over, and people getting attacked by like digital means, and then that's the setup. That's the beginning.
Indeed, yes, absolutely. Yeah, the plot is laid, and then we head over to the stock market where a riddle appears as well. Everyone's going berserk there, panicking.
And I love all the generic terms: buy, sell. Oh, we're going to take a bath.
Britain's the stereotypical stock market language.
Yeah.
And yeah, we see Alfred and Dick waiting in line to. I have no idea what they're doing. Actually, come to think of it, I have no idea why they're waiting in line. But they are waiting in a line, and the computer goes down because of a riddle appearing on the screen. And yeah, the commissioner's walking out of GCPD and faces loads of questions from the media about the suspicious riddles, and he goes up to his office, and Batman's just appears from nowhere as he does. And so, he suspects that Enigma's back, that Riddler is returning. He's going and deleting all his previous data, all the software copies, and then we hear that a question mark box has been delivered to GCPD and that it's ticking, which is very unnerving, as you can probably imagine. Having a ticking question mark box delivered to anybody is going to worry them.
Yeah, and it looks like a Borg cube too.
Yes, it does. Even weirder.
Even weirder. And it also looks like a Rubik's cube, but they discover that it's basically, of course, Riddler, and that he's trying to erase all of his personal records from existence. And like we've already discussed.
Yes.
And while they're all doing all that, we see that the police records room is being evacuated by guards in disguise. But the Riddler's men, it said that it's Gordon's orders that this room needs to be evacuated. And so they get the room to themselves, and they're trying to find Enigma's stuff so that they could shred it. And then Batman, Gordon, and Robin, they go to investigate the crate, and they learn that it's a variation on a Chinese box puzzle. And Robin said that he's opened the Baxter's box before, and he solved it no problem, but then we learned that he didn't actually solve it. He just used a sledgehammer. And so that's actually a point that comes up later. So it's actually a setup. And Robin eventually manages to find the way to open it, and they see that it is a big old computer.
Yes.
And then Batman has to go and return to the Batcave.
He does, yeah. Absolutely, yes. He returns to the Batcave where Alfred is waiting for him, as per the usual. But I think the initial plot of the story is really, really cool, and you've got no idea what's going on really initially. So Batman works out that the clues that were left at the various scenes, so you've got obviously the stock market, the ATM, and then also in the random queue that they were waiting in. But Robin and Alfred discovers that the clues left spelled DMV, which is a Department of Motor Vehicles. So they head over to there, and they found
the worst place on earth.
Yeah, I can imagine. And so they find the thugs looking for the hard copies of Riddler's papers. Batman decides to fight them, and the thugs manage to escape, and a truck drives at Batman, which is full of dynamite. Batman manages to escape that in time, and blows to smithereens.
The robot driver, how did he afford that robot?
I know, yeah. I don't get where all these super criminals get all their money from.
He probably got from that guy's that $5,000. I don't know if that could buy a whole robot.
Yeah, true.
And then we see that Robin is still messing around with the computer at the police headquarters, and that he's able to figure that it's a virtual reality simulator. And Of course, he has to explain to Gordon, who's very much old world and a grandpa, what virtual reality is, and gives him a little demonstration. Even allows Gordon to put it on and gives him a virtual tour, and it's pretty cool. You see the stairs. It's like from a famous painting. I'm not very cultured, so I don't remember the exact artist, but it's a famous painting. Everyone's seen it, where the stairs look like going everywhere. And he's explaining the rules to him, so at least we know the rules of the world. So we know what Batman can do and can't do once he's in there facing the Riddler. So that's pretty smart of them, the way they set that up, too. And the Robin says, I'm going to go get a snack. And he asks if Gordon's hungry at all. And he says, no, he's cool. So Robin just leaves Gordon to play around with virtual reality. And then all of a sudden, the staircase turns into Riddler's hand, and he's grabbing Gordon, and looks like King Kong compared to Gordon. And he's basically telling him that he's trapped in there with him. And Robin thought eventually, at first, that there's no way that Edward could get into it because it's not technically plugged into anything. But that's part of the Riddler's. That's part of his shtick. So he was able to get in there.
Part of the Riddler's way, and. I think that part's brilliant, and obviously Robin tries to pull the headset off and gets electrocuted as well, which doesn't go well for him.
Knocks him out.
Yeah, absolutely. And so meanwhile, Batman is heading over to a ringing phone booth after the truck tries to run him over, and
first he gives the firemen the day off, and he's hosing off the fire for them.
Oh yeah, he is absolutely. That was the point, yeah. I don't know where he gets the random hose from. It's like strange.
Well, if you see it all of a sudden disappears too on the cartoons. Like, where'd that hose go?
But so he goes over to the phone booth, phone box, and then 4 quarters and a penny comes out of the thing, and it says, "It all makes sense when you add it up." And he manages to work out that it's the police headquarters, which is quite clever. I actually like that riddle. I think that's really clever. When it says it all makes sense when you add it up. And Batman heads over to GCPD room 101, and the Riddler announces if they want to save him, he has to save Commissioner Gordon. They have to go in and save him themselves. And I love how Batman keeps the earpiece in, and Robin keeps his earpiece in as well, to keep one ear in the reality and one in the virtual world. I think that's quite clever.
Yeah, it's very clever, and that's one of the things that they've talked about. Especially, I know a lot of people that love the animated series have seen the interviews where they say that the Riddler episodes were so hard to write because they just wanted to be so true to the character, and you could tell they put a lot of thought into everything that they wrote on each one of these.
Absolutely.
So. Yeah. It's like what you just have the police headquarters thing, that alone, who knows how long it took just to write that riddle. That's pretty impressive.
It's brilliant. It's a fantastic riddle.
So then we see, like you said, Batman, before putting on the headwear and going in, puts on the earpiece, and he just sees that he's in the world, and he's able to talk to Robin still, so we have that established. And Batman sees that he's in a bunch of he finds himself quickly in a bunch of doorways, and they're just random doors, and then he sees different things written onto them depending on where he looks, and the one leads to a plane where kings and queens contend eventually, after he walks into a room with like question marks shooting stuff at him, and he leaves. And then one said something about a locomotive, I believe.
Yeah, that was a strange one. I didn't quite get that one, if I'm honest.
And then that we get the one that leads to a plane where kings and queens contend, which that's pretty easy, and that's a chessboard. And then we see that he's quickly put onto a chessboard, or he has to figure out that he's one of the pieces, and Robin figures out he's the Dark Knight, means he has to move in the L pattern that the knight moves on a chessboard, or else the pieces start falling off, and he would fall off. And we also learn from the Riddler that if he dies in the game, he dies in real life because he's trapped in there, or his mind is, or however that works. And then and then we just see eventually Batman's able to break it. But how does he do that?
Yeah, so I love this bit. So Batman turns into a knight as well, doesn't he? As he's on the chessboard and sort of flies. He flies away, and I love the whole thing as well. 64 squared as a chessboard. It's door 4096. which I think that is brilliant as well. And so Batman then flies around through the astrology bits and Pegasus and all that stuff. And he ends up in Riddlerville. And I love how Riddler goes, "Welcome to Riddlerville, Batman." I love that. Yes. It's fantastic. And he's basically just says the Commissioner's mind is contained within the Baxter box, within the cube. And so Robin decides to try and tell him how to solve it, and then gets cut off by Riddler, who is not impressed at all. And Batman's like, "Oh, if you can manipulate the way things are, I can too." So he turns his hands into melons and starts smashing it to pieces. And I love Riddler at this point. He's like, "Oh, I should have known you resort to cheating." And Riddler starts to duplicate himself and put it back together. And Batman comes back and duplicates himself to try and fight it. And Riddler just keeps doing the same. And the way he defeats him is absolutely brilliant. He's like, "How can you split your mind into 32 directions and still maintain the concentration to keep the image?" And he's like, "You can't." As Batman shrinks back into one person, and then the whole world starts collapsing, and Riddler's like, "No." That's brilliant. I love that moment. It's so good. And he eventually leaves the clue of, if the planet was still equitable, I'd still have my old job, which is fantastic. I love that riddle, which leads us into the final act.
Yes, where after we see that Batman safely brought Commissioner's mind out, and thus they're all physically safe out of that box, we see that what you said, they solve the puzzle and they go to the World's Fair, I believe.
Yeah, indeed.
And they find Edward Nygma that looking fried and stuck to a machine, where it's very reminiscent of a Batman Forever, where they must, I think this came before, so I feel like they must have taken it from it. And it looks like whatever he was trying to do to Commissioner Gordon happened to him, where his mind was fried and he's stuck in the game for now. Yeah.
That's a good point about Batman Forever, actually. Yeah, it's very true. And how to get Riddler out of there is a riddle mainly no one can solve, as Batman says, which I think is fantastic. But I love this episode a lot. So what do you rate this episode out of 10? Well, I'm interested.
What's cool is watching this one after watching the other one. There's a lot of parallels. Like Batman kind of cheated in the first way he beat Riddler with the Hand of Fate and rigging it up to his Palm Pilot, and then he kind of cheated here, but he also used his mind to be able to do that, which is, I think, brilliant. Like what you said, like being able to divide his consciousness up. You can't concentrate that much.
Yeah.
So I just love that, and I also love how. Batman always ends the episode on a Riddler episode with a riddle, like with how much is a good night's sleep worth, and then how do you get Riddler's mind out of here. So I like how the parallels of the episode, as well as how they're able to innovate and make it still a really new, crazy Riddler episode. So I give this a 9 out of 10, because this is one of my favorite Riddler. I would say Riddler's Reform is my ultimate Riddler episode, but this one's really good.
Yeah, true. Riddler's Reform is amazing, isn't it?
And even the setup of how Robin cheated, where he talks about he used the sledgehammer. Batman turns his fist into sledgehammers and starts beating the box.
Smashing the crap out of the box. It's brilliant.
What did you give it?
I'm going to give it a 10 out of 10 because it's one of my favorite. It's one of my favorite episodes. This one, I think it's got everything in it, and the visuals are spectacular.
Yes, that's the best part. Is the crazy, trippy visuals.
Yeah. I mean, I love all the Riddler episodes, but this one's just amazing.
It is. And I love how they also managed to work in mythology with the constellations. It's like all that stuff. It's a heady episode for a cartoon.
So many different elements to it. It's brilliant, yeah.
Even chess. Well.
Yeah.
What's our next one after this? It's not as up there, but I believe it's I Am the Ninth.
I think it is, I forgot to check that, if I'm honest, before the podcast began. Check that now. But yes, I believe it is. It is I Am the Night. We got some great episodes coming up.
Yes.
Just looking at the next 10 episodes, absolutely all brilliant.
That's always an interesting one to do. And also pretty heady and heavy for a Saturday morning cartoon.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah,
Which,
very,
speaking
very
of
much is.
talking about breaking these episodes down, we already did the guest portion. So if you're listening to the audio, this is going to make more sense. But we got to speak to DCU Review, a couple of brother team, Cal and Liam, and they break down each week the episode of Batman the Animated Series. And speaking of Riddler episodes, the last one they did was If You're So Smart, Why Aren't You Rich? So if you want to get a double dosage of Riddler, you can go listen to that as well. And I believe they do a new episode every Saturday. So definitely go check them out. It was a lot of fun talking to them, and they know their DCAU. That's for sure.
Absolutely, yeah.
I know that they know way more than me, and Scott was finally able to enjoy talking about more Justice League stuff.
Yeah, yeah, it was good. It was good fun, and they were great guys. So massive fun to have them on. But yeah, do go and check that out because it was fantastic. Now,
what is your figure of the week?
Figure of the week. Very easy decision, this one. Probably already guessed, but I'm going to go for Superman.
Oh, I didn't guess. I was honestly thinking you might pick a Long Halloween one. Nice.
Yeah, I'm going to go for Superman for now. Maybe the Long Halloween next week when I bust them out the packet. But yeah, I'm going for Superman for now. He looks brilliant. Amazing figure, amazing paint, amazing cape, and the head sculpt is just fantastic. Love him. So yeah, he's going to be my figure of the week, and he's got a cool accessory. So how about you? What's going to be your figure of the week?
It's the Commissioner's daughter.
Nice.
She's fabulous. Even Bat shreds.
Yeah, I completely get that. I mean, I do really, really like that figure. I just love how alternative it looks. So there's been so many same versions of Batgirl with the black and gold, and yeah, it's just nice to see the grey in for once on a Batgirl figure and a different cowl as well. Yes,
even though some people were saying, "How does the Commissioner not realize it?" It's a But that's my figure of the week, and I'm sure some McFarlane figures will be seen a lot in our recent future.
Yeah, definitely will be.
But hopefully, we see some new McFarlane figures. I'm looking forward to hearing your thoughts on the Hellbat. That's the biggest thing I'm looking forward to.
Yeah, I can't wait to get them. Hopefully, get them tomorrow and get some pictures done by Monday.
Now, before we go, is there any way we could get, if you know, what this weekend theme is?
Yeah, so we've at the Back Collector, it was Lewis. We're going to be doing a Forgotten Figures weekend. We did one about sort of maybe 10 months ago, and it was a blast. But this is one of my favourite themes just because it forces us to think outside the box of everything. So, yeah, we're going to take pictures of figures that you've either never seen before or rarely ever see before. So that's going to be a good fun one.
Ones that have been in your shelf of shame?
Yes, absolutely. Yeah, definitely have. There's a couple of figures on there I never thought I'd photograph that I'm going to be doing.
What?
So,
okay.
Yeah, looking forward to it.
And we only got to wait till tomorrow to see all this.
Yes. Yeah, Friday night through till Sunday night. Can't wait for it.
All right. Any last words?
Thanks to everyone for watching, listening, and thanks to you as well. Yeah, love doing this. It's an absolute blast.
All right. Yeah, thank you for doing it. I'm glad that I have someone that wants to talk about this stuff. And thank you guys for listening and watching. And we hope you enjoy. This is a blast, and it's going to be a really extra long, might be 3-hour episode. Hope you enjoy.